What's good, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Get Defensive Sports Network's I-80 football show. As always, I'm your host, Jordan. I'm here with my co-host, Dante.
Struggling. Oh, man. Besides struggling with the name, how you doing?
I'm all right. I actually, I was just on I-80
Yep, yeah.
for a good 7 hours. And I was thinking about this show while I was on there. I said, "Man,
Oh,
this is a good name."
oh.
I drove past Penn State's campus,
Mm-hmm.
like the exit to Penn State. I said, "Man, taking a road trip." It was funny. Like when you drive and you get like bored. I was like trying to like. We have our show is good, so I actually didn't think of anything that needed to be changed. But I was driving like, man, do we need a new segment? So I was just like looking at things on the side of the road, like whatever to see. Like I was thinking about the show as I was making that 8 hour drive from
Oh,
Akron
my
to
God.
New York on I-80. So yeah,
Eight
but I'm all
hour
right.
drive. Good
Yeah,
heavens.
it ain't that
You know,
bad.
see, here's my thing. I've said this plenty of times. If you've been a fan of the show and people from chat, because I am streaming, hello. Um, I hate driving. I hate it so much. And when you add like my legit limit, the longest drive I've ever done in my life was 8 hours. My
Okay,
limit that I will do personally driving is 5. You ask me to do
that barely
any
gets you out of Ohio.
that literally gets me to Chicago from Columbus.
From Columbus, not from Cleveland. Actually, no, sorry. From Cleveland, it probably gets you to Chicago too, because you can just take I-80. But in general, 5 hours barely. If you have to go south, 5 hours barely gets you out
It
of
gets me to
Ohio.
it also gets me to Indianapolis
From Cleveland?
from Columbus.
Oh well, yeah. That listen, no bullshit. I tell everyone that one of my favorite things about living in Columbus is you can get almost anywhere under 6 hours. Like, and I've actually like looked it up, and some of the drives I've made. You can get to Chicago, Indianapolis, North Carolina. You can't get to Charlotte, but you can get to the Raleigh Durham area in 6. I think you can get somewhere in
I could get to
Tennessee.
East Lansing in 4, I believe.
Yep, you can get to Detroit. You can get to the DM. Oh no, the DMV's 8. You can get to Pittsburgh, of course.
Right.
If you're like me and for some reason went to WVU, you can get to WVU. You can get to certain parts of Virginia, but you can't get to Virginia Beach. That's further.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
you're
get a
right. Because
lot of places.
I've been to West Virginia too as well.
Yeah,
We came in out of Columbus. Yeah. So yeah. Yep.
yeah, you can get a lot of places,
Mm-hmm.
and you can. It's 8. It's 8 to get to New York. So yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
because
like that's one of my favorite.
I've driven. I did part of the drive, but I rode from Cleveland to New York, and that was like 8 hours.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, no, that was one of my favorite things about living in Columbus because that's also why there's so much drug trafficking. There's also why there's
Yeah.
there's also other trafficking that I don't want to talk about right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things because Columbus and all the highways and things, but yeah, no, Columbus is that I do like that about Columbus.
Yeah.
That was one like it's I don't know people, but I like to drive anything
See, that's fair.
as long as I'm going for a long enough time. I have when I was in college, I would drive 8 hours and be there for 48 hours. I can't do that no more. Like it has to be worth being there. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would get in the car and drive to North Carolina for a weekend.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, like so like now that like I have to be there for like long enough. Like if I was gonna do it now, if I was gonna drive 8 hours and I was going somewhere, I would have to leave on Thursday and come back Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday to me would be worth it. 3 days, I can make the 8 hours down and back. Anything less than that, I'm not doing it no more. But yeah, driving, I like to drive. Drive is smooth.
Yeah. Nah. I hate to drive, and it's really because of everybody else.
Fair.
Yeah. I,
Well, on the I-80 football show, my personal drive down I-80 was super easy. There was nobody on the road. It was a straight shot.
nice.
No traffic, no BS. Like it was all right.
You
So
really went home. It's Jazz and Rip Fest this weekend.
truth is, I'm tired. Like, this song. I told you. I don't know if I said it on the show, but I told you all the good stuff was going to happen
The
when I
weekend
left.
after.
Oh,
I looked it up last night and was like, damn.
no,
Damn.
that's my sister's fault. She couldn't have waited another week.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? Yeah,
It's
no,
funny how you didn't
I knew
blame
I
the
was,
baby.
I knew I was going. Well, no, it's her fault because if she waited a week, then her due date would have been this week, and I'd have been there. If the baby stayed another week, they'd have to take her to the hospital. That's not healthy. I don't think. I don't think you can be that far past. That's 10 days past the due date. I think they'd have been concerned.
Nah, people have done much longer.
Then 10 days past the due date.
Yes. Some people
Hey,
have done like a month.
you gotta get this thing out of here. Let's not really talk. No, no, yeah.
I mean, you
My
can
sister
induce
was
it
hitting.
if you get to the due date and it go past, you can induce it if you want, but they'll wait a little bit.
My sister hit her due date and was like, "Why is this baby still in here?"
She was like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
No, because she thought the baby was gonna come early, so it hit the actual due date, and she said, "Dog, come on, bro. What are we?
You really wait. You really wanted really,
You wanted to go? You needed to go full
really,
term? Yeah,
really.
yeah. So,
Oh, I'm crying. That's funny.
oh god, yeah. But no, the last thing I'm gonna say about this road trip, I listened to the Clips album. Have you heard it yet?
Yes, yes, I
I
have.
listened to it while I was driving, and they lucky there was nobody on that road because I was. Hey boy, that was a haters anthem. I really would have let God sort them out. Like, don't drive crazy when I'm listening to this album, bro. What you talking about? I was on I-80. Look, I was looking for the cops like I had drugs in the car. I was trafficking up I-80, boy. I had the powder with me. Cops looked in. Yeah, you think it's suitcases. It looks like I'm moving. No, moving work. Drugs. Bruh, that album was fire. But also just the
I
hate.
got a level 4 felony in my car. Shut up.
Boy, what you talking? And it's
And
only
I'm crossing
15.
state lines.
Multiple. Multiple. Stop playing with me. I got drugs all through PA. But yeah, no, the album is fire, bruh. I'm like, yeah, but I do know I had to bring it up on the podcast because first of all, "Let God Sort Him Out" is the perfect title for haters. It's just like the perfect. Like, I really don't fuck with these niggas. Like, let God sort them out. Like, but also it's just so much hate in the lyrics. Like it was 60% coke, 30% hate, and 10% I'm richer than you, which is another form of hating. Like it's another form of like, ugh, brokies. I ignored that part, but the rest of it I was locked in. I was
Yeah.
selling drugs too, if you ask me.
I plead the fifth.
No, yeah, the album was fire.
Yeah, yeah, I like that album.
I think I listened to it twice while I was in the car, and I said, yeah, this is not the album to be listened to and have road rage.
Mm. And that's why I haven't listened to it in the car.
But you have to. Just don't drive nowhere. just don't drive nowhere.
But it's a whole album. I have to drive somewhere if
Well,
I'm gonna listen to it.
you're right. I don't know what to tell you.
Mm.
I don't know what to tell the people around. Let
You
God
know
sort
what?
it out.
You know what I gotta do? I gotta put my truck. I gotta put my truck on my insurance, and then I'll be fine. I still
There
haven't
you
done
go.
that. I still haven't done that for some odd reason.
You driving dirty?
Technically, no. I'm insured.
Okay.
I am personally am insured. My
Okay.
car, on the other hand,
Got you.
yeah.
Gray area. Gray area.
Mm-hmm,
There is
mm-hmm,
insurance. Gray area.
mm-hmm. There is insurance,
Understand.
yes. I
Understand.
just got to switch the car. Need to switch the vehicle, and then we're good. We're good.
Yeah. This is I promise we're gonna start the show. I
Yeah.
promise. So I don't think this is definitely not specifically a Northeast Ohio thing, but we perpetrated some of the worst. I used to get yelled at for the fact of like how much I used to drive with my license suspended, and I had to tell my wife I was like, everybody I know drives with their license suspended. Like everybody I know. She's like, no, like I was like, everybody that you meet from Canton that I know has driven with their license suspended. It just happens. What do you mean? What the license is a suggestion?
No.
Sometimes you got to go to work. You got to go to work. And then Canton, Canton, they love to suspend a license. You got to go to work. My license was suspended like 4 times. I got to go to
God
work.
damn. Jesus Christ. So
Yeah.
I was driving with my license suspended, but I had no clue I was doing that.
They don't tell you. First of all, so 4 sounds
I had
crazy.
no clue.
But 2 times were off the same thing because I thought I cleared it. So my license was suspended. And then I went to college and I cleared it, but they did something wrong. So then I got pulled over in Kent and they suspended it again. So it's really been 3 because 2 times about the same thing, and it was a paperwork error. It wasn't my fault. Like I had to go
Okay,
back down
fair,
there and
fair,
be
fair.
like, I paid this. Why my license still suspended? So it's really only been 3 times. But yeah, they don't be telling nobody. They just suspend
Yeah.
it. You don't find
Like
out too.
I was driving from Columbus back to Cleveland, and cop pulls me over. I literally just get off the highway. Cop pulls me over. He takes my license and my stuff. He comes back. He was like, so you're driving with a suspended license? I was like, no, I'm not. Like,
Like, what are you? Then that's always the reaction. What are you talking about?
what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not. He was like, yeah, no, it says here your license has been suspended for like 2 months. I was like, I was like, I had no clue.
Since
Since
like,
when? I was like, what do you mean 2 months? He was like, you didn't get anything in the mail? No, not at all. And I
nah,
was
they
like,
never send it.
he was like, all right, so I'm gonna give you back your license, and I'm gonna act like you got picked up, and I'm gonna go on, wait for me to leave, then you get home. I was like, all right. I got
Right.
home the next day. I literally went to the B&B and got everything, or courthouse and everything figured out. Because he told me where it was, what happened. I was like, don't even know.
Yeah, that's crazy. One time, first of all, I didn't know you could go to jail for driving with a suspended license. So I was driving around Kent, and I got, and to make it matters
All right,
worse,
we
it
good.
was Thanksgiving weekend, bruh. They pulled me over, and they're like, "You have a suspended license," and then they said it's Thanksgiving, so we're not going to take you to jail. I said, "You can go to jail for driving without a suspended license." What are you talking about? He said, "Yeah." I said,
I thought you
"Since
just took the
when?"
car.
Like,
I thought you just took the car.
jail. I'm like, jail for a suspended license. The worst case, I had to walk home. What do you mean? So yeah, they put me in the back and they dropped me off at my dorm and they took the car. But I said jail for a suspended license is crazy. You want me to hold up
Jail?
on Thanksgiving talking about yeah, what you in here for? I have a license. Like that's dumb, bro. Stop playing with me. Yeah. So
The cop was like, we're technically supposed to take your car. I was like, bro, I didn't know. I was like, no one told me anything. I was like, that don't take my car.
one
Like,
time,
how else am I going to go fix this? Like,
yeah, like how am I going? Yeah, if you have to, but I found out my license was suspended one time while going to renew my license. I was at the DMV and I was at the DMV. I said, yeah, I went to like renew my tags or something. And they said, we can't renew your tags. I said, why? They said your license is suspended. I said, what do you mean? And I was like, so can I fix it? It's like, no, you have to go to court. I'm like, but I'm at the DMV. And they say, yeah,
like
you gotta go to court. And they let me drive away. they just
they can't
they
stop you.
just handed me
There's
my
nothing they can
paperwork
do.
back. It said whatever I just got. It said, and this one was bad because they got suspended up near Toledo. You know that like stretch right before you get on 480. Like it's just there's like nothing there. Like you get off, yeah, right there. Like when we used to go to Toledo all the time because there's signals and stuff up there. And every time we went, whoever was driving got pulled over every single time. And one of them times it was me, and I guess they suspended my license, and I didn't even know it. So but here on the I-80 football show, our licenses are in order to record this podcast at least.
Yes.
We are
Yes.
legal.
Yes.
When we go up and down
Yeah, because I
I-80,
literally
any
just
other
had to
team.
renew my license. I literally just had to do it because I turned 31 earlier this year. So, yep.
Damn.
All right.
All right, so 15 minutes in, we'll actually talk about football. Um, if you listen to last week's show, you know what this episode is about because in the middle of, like, not the middle, that's exaggerated. In the very
Right.
beginning of the show, I'm like, man, I feel like we're doing the wrong show. And we started talking. I said, no, we're actually doing the wrong show. So this is the right show.
Mm-hmm,
This
mm-hmm.
show, we're doing 10 questions for the Big Ten. This is officially the start of preview season. Next week, we will have our first preview. Um, and you should listen. Obviously, I don't care what anybody says. We do the best preview of the Big Ten. I don't care what nobody says. I have found one or two other Big Ten podcasts. Their ass. We do the best. If you like the Big Ten conference, you should listen to us. If
Not their ass.
if you have a fan, if you have a friend, a significant other, a cousin, a brother, a girlfriend, a wife, it doesn't matter who they are. Someone, a coworker, someone you know likes a team of the Big Ten, you should send them this way. Right, football season is around the corner. That's when this show is good all the time, but it gets really good during football season when we actually have games to watch. So this is the time. Stop playing with us. Follow the YouTube. Follow the TikTok. Share it with your friends. We're here. This is the start of preview season. We start next week. But first, we wanted to look at the conference as a whole. 10 questions for the Big Ten. And we can just jump right into it. Question number one is does Ohio State take a step back after winning a national championship? And
Uh,
define, and to be clear, to define a step back, this is not asking if they're going to repeat. A step back is more like what LSU does, what Michigan did, where like they're because they lost a whole bunch, they're going to win 8 or 9 games. Contention is not a step back. Are they going to be? Are they going to struggle? Are they going to win 8 or 9 games? Are they not at the end of the season going to be one of the teams that we think can win a national championship? That's a step back.
mm, um, I don't think they take that much of a step back. Like that, like if the step back is literally like only winning, what is it, 8 or 9 games? No, there's a good chance they don't play in the Big Ten championship game again. Um,
So that would be a step back. So
they
like,
didn't play in it
not
last year
I
though.
said 8 or yeah, but like okay, I guess the better way to say it is at the end of the season, are they going to be a team we think can win a national championship, whether they do or don't, or are they either out of the playoff at like 10-2, 9-3, or are we expecting them to lose in the first round?
I don't think you're out of the playoffs at 10-2. Um,
It depends on how it falls. Probably not. Probably
yeah,
not.
I
Yeah.
don't think that happens. I would say like they might lose in the first or second round of the playoffs. I forgot how many rounds there is, like 3 or 4, right?
So you're predicting a step back.
Yeah, a bit of one. I don't think they play in the national championship game though.
Okay. So yeah, I think this one's interesting. I'm gonna say, based on the criteria, I'm gonna say no because I think they get out of the first round, and I think anything after the first round, you can't call it a step back. Whether they won the national championship or not, Ohio State should never be a team that loses the first round in the playoff. So based on just how the seeding works, if the seeding changes, maybe. So like, I think they get out of the first round. I'm not entirely sold just yet. We have some time to get to it on how far I think they're going to get. But I think Ohio State benefits this year in particular from everyone sort of taking a step back. Like there's not like we talk about Penn State, but Penn State is who they are. We'll get to them shortly. But who is the team that's going to do it, right? Texas lost just as many players as Ohio State has a first year quarterback. Georgia has a first year quarterback who I actively think is bad. Um, um, Oregon, first year quarterback who was actively bad at his previous place. Penn State, don't think their quarterback is bad and don't think their quarterback is great. And we've seen the James Franklin thing. Alabama also has a first year starter. Michigan also has a first year starter. So this is not a year where I think if you look at Ohio State's roster and situation, if you put this in like 2018, 2019. I think that step back could have been there based on the other teams. But I think the whole sport is I really think the whole sport is more even than it's ever been. And it's largely because all of the top programs are all starting first year quarterbacks,
Oh,
which I
okay.
think helps them get to that next level of like, yeah, you lost people, but when the next best team in the country is Texas and they lost their entire offensive line, they lost both of their starting tackles, they lost all of their wide receivers. And despite the fact that he has a Manning name, he's still a first year starting quarterback. It's like, how much better is anyone than Ohio State, if that makes sense?
Nah, I see what you mean. I can see them still losing in the first round. I can see that happening. I can see the same thing where it's like they don't make it to the Big Ten championship game, but that doesn't kick them out of the playoffs. I can see that possibly happening. Um, but I could I think it'd be like a small setback. I could see a loss in the first round, but it's not a bad season. You guys would think it'd be terrible though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I mean, we're not going to be happy. I think your assessment is fair. That's reasonable. That doesn't mean we're going to be fair and reasonable if it happens.
Yeah,
We
no,
being Ohio State
no,
fans, we're not.
no.
Question number two, and this is not one that we can answer, but it is a question that matters for the conference. Who is Michigan's starting quarterback? There's a lot of smoke that Michigan is going to have a first year starter who's also a freshman. They're going to do the Dylan Raiola thing, a highly recruited quarterback, maybe the number one player, maybe the number one quarterback. I don't remember his recruiting, but he was at least a top 10 player overall, I believe.
Excuse me.
And he was like a top five quarterback nationally. From Michigan, they outbid a crazy NIL deal. They outbid LSU for him. His name is Bryce Underwood. The other guy who is in contention is Mikey Keene, who is the last line of these like fifth year quarterback kind of things. Mikey Keene came from Fresno State. I think he's sort of interesting because Michigan played him the last 2 years, at least last year, but I think it's the last 2 years they played Fresno State. So they got to see him up front. They brought him in as a senior to compete for the job. So
Interesting.
who knows, right? I think everyone is assuming that it's going to be Bryce. I'm not assuming that it's going to be him, largely because I think we need to remember how hard it is to start as a freshman. Like I know we have all this hype and like all these quarterbacks, but like most quarterbacks don't start as a freshman. Bryce Young didn't. C.J. Stroud didn't. Josh Allen, like name him, Patrick Mahomes, like all. It's really hard to start as a freshman. I think he does have a good chance, better than most, sort of similar to the Nebraska situation with Dylan, of like who is going to take the job from him, kind of thing. I also think that's partially why he went there because LSU he wouldn't start as a freshman. So yeah, Bryce. I mean, it's entirely a guess, but if you had to blind guess, Bryce Underwood or Mikey Keene, do they go
Um,
freshman or do they go senior with experience?
to start the season, first
Game
game of
one.
the season, game one.
Game one.
Um, I'll probably go with the senior. I would do the senior.
I would too, which makes me think they're not.
Yeah.
But I really think they need to protect this kid from himself. Like
Hmm.
it's like I don't want to. We're gonna do the Dylan Rayola conversation here shortly, but and we've talked about this before. Think about how Dylan Rayola is viewed, right? He did not have a bad year. He had a regular freshman year, and now people just talk about him like he's chopped liver. And Dylan was as highly recruited, as much expectation, if not more, than this kid. And he had a good year. He wasn't the worst. He was middle of the pack as a freshman. He had great moments. He had moments where it's like, man, his arm talent is spectacular, but you can tell he's 19. And he also didn't have a great talent around him. And now people talk about him like he's trash. Like you look at all these lists and you look at all this stuff, and like nobody like this kid was like everyone was talking about 3 year starter, number one pick. and that legitimately could still happen for him. But because he didn't compete for a Heisman as a freshman, people act like he's garbage. So
which is like that's very rare.
right,
It's only happened like only a
so
few times.
you know what I'm saying. So like I think that I would go with the older guy as well. I think that they should protect him from himself and from the media and from all of these things. I don't know that that's going to happen. So yeah, probably going to be the freshman. Probably going to be Bryce, but I wouldn't do that. Question 3. This one's fun. I think they're all good, but whatever. This one's fun. What does Indiana look like in year 2 with Kirk Signetti? We won't go too deep into it because we are going to get to Indiana eventually. Like I said, we do the best previews in the Big Ten. If you've never been here for preview season, I just want to let you know that we talk in depth about every single team, top to bottom, all 18. And so we're going to get into Indiana,
So
but
many teams.
so many teams. It's literally
Oh,
it's
this
four
used to be
four
easier.
episodes, right? Yeah, God, man. As soon as we started with 14, and it was cute. It was a cute little 14, and then the next year it was like, man, we're gonna go to 16 in a couple of years. So let's just add them in. Let's just talk about it. Let's just do it. And then right after that, it was 18, and it's like,
It's a lot.
why are we doing this? Why are you doing this to us? 18 teams
So
is crazy.
18 teams.
Um,
Big Ten,
So we
my
won't,
ass.
yeah, we won't go too deep into it now. But Indiana lost some people, of course, but they bring in a transfer quarterback. They bring in some transfer wide receivers. They're expected to have a pretty solid defense, and so it's sort of.
I think they
But
had a
at the
pretty solid
same
defense already. So
right. But at the same time, they're no longer going to surprise anybody. So I'm not
you
asking
think
for
so?
records. After last year, I don't think they can surprise anybody. Like
I think it still happens. I think a lot of people are going to look at Indiana and be like, it's just like it's a Northwestern or Purdue
mm,
or like Michigan State where they just blimp.
anyone can have a good year and just
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Who else? Who else happened that happened for in the Big Ten?
Minnesota,
I was gonna say Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. Um, something like that. Because I think teams still get tripped up by Iowa.
crazy.
Like I think schools still get tripped up by Iowa. So I can I get what you coming from. Like that makes sense, and I think the top teams will see that, like will understand that, and by that time there already been games played, so you can't
Mm-hmm.
really yeah. But I do think week 6 there'll be schools getting tripped up and be like, oh crap, Indiana. Like I thought y'all were really not that good. Like y'all weren't really gonna be good. I could see that.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know where to set this because playoff seems sort of aggressive,
Cause
but it's
but it's not. It's not. I mean, why not? They did it last year. They literally did it last
so
year.
okay. So if you had to bet or give a percentage chance, let's just do it this way. Is it more likely than not that they get back into the playoffs or at least get close? Let's call it a top 15 finish. Top 15
Yes.
finish.
I
They're
think
one
they
of the
get close.
so
I think they get close, but don't get voted in because of how it ended last year. And like the voters are
mm,
gonna have that type of thought process behind the school. But they definitely probably deserve to make it.
I like that. I like that. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're trying to. I think we're trying to get off of Indiana too quickly. I'm not saying they're going to sustain it as in 3, 4, 5 years from now, but I
Mm-hmm.
think they're in a unique place to at least do it 2 years before they really sort of erode with the transfers. And like you said, then they're really being taken serious. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Yeah.
they recruited one of the best quarterbacks in the portal, and it's because his brother played there. So they had that, but like he was being recruited by everybody, right?
Yep.
So like it's not even like
Yep.
they have a quarterback that Georgia wanted, right? They had a quarterback that all these teams that I mentioned who have these starting quarterbacks who are new, a lot of these teams want Oregon wanted them, right? And he's at Indiana. So Indiana already has a top 3, top 5 quarterback at the beginning of the season in the Big Ten. And so I agree. I think it's more likely than not at least top 15 because you're never sure with how the
Yeah.
um
I think I I'm I think they're gonna all the complaining that happened last year about them being in it. I think they're gonna look at their schedule and be like, I don't think they deserve to be in there. And you're like, all right. And then they're gonna put in an SEC team with a worse record, and they're gonna lose. And you're gonna be
And
like,
we're going to be on this podcast losing our mind.
because then we're gonna be like, what would have been the difference? The same thing happened. Look at that. Put the better
Basically.
record in at this point. You never know.
I agree with that. Next
Mhm.
question. Can Oregon stay as one of the top two teams in the conference? I am not projecting that Oregon is going to be bad. I am not projecting that they're going to fall off. But Oregon went in and rammed through the conference, started 13-0. They obviously hit, they got beat by Ohio State in the playoff game. But you have this Ohio State team coming back. You have Oregon. You have all this hype with Penn State. You have this Illinois team with a 3-year starter coming back. Someone's got to be the third. Someone's got to be
You
fourth. Is Oregon that is it Oregon and then Ohio State and Penn State are fighting for that second spot, or is Oregon maybe the third one looking in? Can they stay as a top two team in the conference going in?
um, I think they can. I think they have to stay around top four. They have to. Just because my thing is like I look at it like this: for Oregon in the Big Ten can be a legit household name and a great recruiting spot because of Nike, and it already has probably. But now that they're in the Big Ten, it's a bigger conference, more TV deals, things like that. So I think they have to stay top four. I think they can stay top two.
Yeah, I struggle with this one because I've seen the kid play. I don't think Dante Moore's a good quarterback. And like everyone's talking about him as the best quarterback in the conference and doing all these things. And it's just like it's weird because I don't think that Oregon has ever in the two like I get what they did with Bo Nix. I get what they did with Michael Penix, right? And it's
Hmm.
back to back first whatever, right? It's fine. But no, Michael Penix was Washington. It was Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel. Sorry, Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
get it, but it just wasn't impressive to me, to be honest with you. And I think that they're also losing, as everyone is. They're also losing some players. I don't. I think that at least going into the year, in my opinion, the top two teams would be Ohio State and Penn State. Oregon replaces Penn State as a team that's going to be good. And if one of those teams loses a game they shouldn't, then they get that second spot. But no one going, I mean, 12 games into the year, no one said that Penn State was the second best team in the Big Ten, even though they went into the conference championship game. So can they get to the conference championship game? Sure. I think it comes with some help. It comes with Ohio State stumbling. It comes with Penn State stumbling, losing a game that they shouldn't. Maybe one of them plays an Illinois team and gets upset or something like that. But if we're talking beginning right now and how we feel week 12, week 13, rivalry week, I don't think that Oregon is going to be considered one of the two best teams in the conference. Top four, of course. This is not a prediction that they fall off, but I don't think
Hmm.
they have the magic of last year where they were literally the number one seed in the playoff until the playoffs started. Like they were, you know what I mean? Like they were, or were they the number one seed the whole time?
I
Were they?
think I
Were
think
they
they
number
might
one
have
seed?
been. I think they were number one
Yeah, well,
seed.
they were the number one seed. So
I think so.
good, good, but not special. I think they end up 3 or 4, and still probably. I do still think they make the playoffs, though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to be clear,
I'm
this is
saying the
not a
question.
prediction they fall off. That's
Yeah,
what a
because the question says, "Can they?" And I think they can. Yes. If you
I
say,
worded
"Will
that.
they?" Will they?
Yeah, that should have been
I
will
don't
they.
know. I don't know, but I think they can. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
possible.
can is the
I
wrong way to
think
word that. That
I
should have been will they
again
be.
last. My thing is the thing is that last you're saying like can Ohio State and Penn State slip up? Yes, because over the past 2 or 3 years, both teams have shown that they can.
Yeah, can is the wrong word. That should have
Hmm.
been will.
Hmm.
It should have been will Oregon stay as one of the top two teams in the conference,
Yeah,
which,
yeah. I don't
as you
think they
said, is
will,
a different question.
but I definitely think they can. I definitely do
Yeah, for
think they can.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question, question 5, is Penn State a legit title contender? And
I thought they were last year, so I can't change my answer this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
And it's another one of those more sort of vague questions, like, are they a legit title contender? You have to say
Because
yes,
remember, I said
but
I didn't think there was
history,
really one last year. I didn't think there was a true title contender last year.
yeah.
When we
And
were
me
at
and you
this
went
point in the
back and
time of the season, yeah,
yeah, me and you went back and forth on Penn State the whole year because I'm like, I just don't think they're that good, and you're like, bro, what are you watching? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like,
and that's like
are
I
you
kept saying, I
watching?
was like,
Are
what
you
are you?
watching the quarterback? In the end, I was right because the quarterback lost them a game they should have won. Like they went further than I
But
thought, but the
you're
quarterback
right.
lost them.
You were
But
right about in that moment. But like they were still a good team. They
yes,
could have
yes,
won a national championship. Like for real, for real. Like
yeah, which honestly makes this thing worse because it's like, why didn't they? Well, partially the quarterback, and maybe it really is James Franklin. Like, it's so funny because like if you listen to me talk about James Franklin, I bet you think I don't like him, and then you see where I rank him in the like ranking of coaches, and it's like. You like him, like yes, I think he's a great coach. He
he's a
is,
great
but
coach.
also, but dot 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 he don't win the big game. Like he just doesn't.
Sometimes
Like
you know I look at it like this. You know, at some point you the break like he hasn't caught a break. Let's to win a championship takes a lot of skill. Let's not act like there's no luck involved. like let's
come on, like we all watch sports. There's a lot of luck involved.
there's some luck involved. Like let's be for real. And he hasn't been. He's been on the unlucky side a lot of the time. I have like I'll bring this up all the time. It was against the that Ohio State game where he coached a beautiful defensive game for about what is it 12 minutes a quarter? It's 12 minutes a quarter,
Yeah,
right? So like
yeah.
almost 48, like literally almost like 45 minutes.
No, is it 15? Am I tripping?
It might be 15. Yeah, you fuck. Is it 15? Either way,
Why we sound so stupid right now? And now in my mind,
right?
I'm like, it's
Right?
15, right?
Right? I don't
This
know.
is embarrassing. It's just something you don't ever think about. But
I
I'm
don't
pretty
pay
sure it's
attention to.
15. Yeah, it's 15. It's the same as the
Okay,
NFL.
okay,
It's the same
okay.
as yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So for
yeah,
about
it's
3 hours, he coached
fair.
because I'm still wrong. But like for
Yeah.
he coached and
No, no. When you add in the commercials, it was 3 hours. It was because if we're talking
he
about it
coached.
in the end, the game was
Mhm.
probably like 3 hours and 13 minutes, and for 3 hours,
He coached
this is
a beautifully defensive game, and he got aggressive. I think I said back then I didn't like the call, but at the same time
you
I
hated
get it.
it.
I
You hated
hated the
it.
call. I did because he was doing beautiful. But my thing is
Yeah.
just like I get it. Get aggressive. You might cause a mistake on their end because it's happened on their end before. I get where you were going with it. I just really hated the call.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't remember, he called a man blitz
Man blitz.
like late, and
Real
I'm
late.
pretty sure did they
Real
score?
late.
Did they score a touchdown, or did they just get like really
Immediately
close
on
to
that
the end?
play.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Literally
couldn't
on that
remember if they
play.
scored a touchdown or if they went into like the 5 yard. Like, yeah, they scored a touchdown
It
and
was
then they
something like
scored again.
that. It
And
was like
like
they
Dante lost his mind for 2 weeks. 2 weeks on the podcast talking about why would you call a man blitz? You haven't done it all game.
all game. They were literally waiting for it. It's like it looked like they
Yeah.
were waiting for that. Oh my god, yay! Like
No,
oh, it just
I
it
literally
oh it
just did
pissed
that
me
in the
off.
college
But
football
I
video
do
game. I said
think
yes, touchdown. Yeah, that's
like
exactly what happened.
I do think he hasn't been able to truly catch that break like how Ryan Day did. Right, like Ryan Day caught a break. Even though he slipped up but caught a break. Um, what's his name? That's at the Chargers now
Jim
from
Harbaugh.
Michigan. Jim, he caught a break.
They
Like
all do.
yeah,
Like no
he
one.
just
This
hasn't caught
this
that break yet.
this
Honestly.
dominant run of kind of like it just never really happens. Most people you sort of catch a break.
Hmm.
Yeah, Penn State's interesting, man. I think. Okay. Uh, before we move off of this, what is because you can't predict a national championship. You just can't. Even though Michigan loaded up and won, and Ohio State loaded up and won, you just can't predict a national championship. So I don't
Mm-hmm,
want to say
mm-hmm.
that. What is considered a failure? Losing, like, what, like, do they have to get to the natty, or is it a failure? Do they have to be Final Four teams? Because like
I would have
what
to say Final
at
Four.
what? Okay,
As a if your contender is a Final Four appearance, and I think they can definitely do that. They,
and if
I
they so if
think
they don't get
you have to at least repeat what you did last year. And
okay,
last year you were a
because
Final Four team.
you're nicer than me. So if they don't get to a Final Four, you would consider that a failure.
Yeah, because you didn't even do at least what you did last year.
Yeah,
You have to do at
man,
least what you did last year.
I just feel like I think I agree because it's hard to say anything else. But I low key feel like they at least have to get to the natty. Like with all the
I
players,
I, I get where you're coming from with that.
which is
My
hard to say.
You because you're asking me what would be a failure. In my eyes, if you don't at least do what you did last year
It's
after
definitely a failure
loading
with all
up,
the hype. Yeah.
then that's a failure. If you get, I can see why, like, even getting to that point, people would see it as a failure because it's like, again, you as you say, they loaded up and all that. So I can see how people would say that was a failure. To me, as a failure, if you don't at least get to the
Hmm.
semifinals, that's a failure for real.
Yes. Okay. So I
And
agree. I'm gonna.
I'll even hedge my bet a little more. If you get to that semifinal game and then get demolished,
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna
mm-hmm,
say because it's hard to say get to a natty, right? Because of what happened
mm-hmm,
last year. But to your point, I, I mean, I was gonna go a step further than you. You got it. You have to get there, and you have to be competitive. It has to
mm-hmm,
be. We're watching that game, and we thought you could win. If they get in and get demolished, that doesn't count. Like that's still a failure. Like you have to be
mm-hmm.
competitive in the semifinal for me. Otherwise, it's a failure. If you get there, you lose by
I'm
three
pretty sure
touchdowns. What's
they're
the
gonna look
point?
at it
Like,
like
why
if
did
we
you
don't
get
get,
there?
yeah, I know the team will probably look at it if we don't get to a national championship game, we failed.
Yep.
They'll probably
Next
look at it that
question.
way. Mm-hmm.
I think this is it.
Those are the only
I
two.
think so. Like because the Greek rifle, if you remember this, he started at Minnesota, correct? So he's a
The
third
who?
year starter. The Greek rifle,
I
the Rutgers quarterback. You don't remember? You love that nickname, and you keep forgetting who he is. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the quarterback. He transferred from Minnesota to Rutgers,
okay,
but I'm pretty
okay,
sure he
yeah.
started at Rutgers at Minnesota for a year. So he's not a second year
Um,
quarterback. So he's the third year starter. Okay,
it's
so Rutgers is off the
UCLA's
list. And
Washington's quarterback is what?
oh, he's a second year starter.
Okay,
Yeah. What is his name? What is his name? Demond. Hold on. Demond. Is it
not
Williams?
Damon.
It
He
is.
Devon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chad, and I'm sorry, our viewers. I
Yeah.
I'm
His name. His name is
I
Demond Williams
apologize for
Jr.
my outburst.
That is such a black name. I like Demond Williams Jr. Hey, my boy, I'm with you. I like him. He counts. He was not the starter all of last year, but he
Mm,
ended the year as a starter or something. Hold
okay.
on,
Well, what is
hold on.
Minnesota's?
No. He's a first year starter.
Okay,
He only had 105 attempts. He didn't play in every game. He came in when like someone was injured, or so. Yeah, he's a first year starter, so he doesn't count.
okay. Minnesota's quarterback.
Oof. I don't even know who that's gonna be. But I'm pretty sure their quarterback. I don't think their quarterback's returning
Okay. Um.
because if I remember correctly, their quarterback last year was a 1 year rental. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He's new as well. He's gonna be. Yep. He's new. Drake. They're expecting it to
I'm
be
trying to
Drake
think of
Lindsay.
every USC's QB.
Nope. First year.
No,
Jaden
Teddy.
Mayega.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who else is out there? I
Illinois
already
is
know.
going into his third year. Iowa's
Okay,
going to be his first year.
gotcha.
Michigan is first year.
first year or a first year regardless, right?
Yeah,
If the senior
yeah,
plays, that would be his. Okay.
or yeah, or it'd
Um,
be more. Yeah, Maryland is going to be new. It's going to be a new quarterback.
Purdue.
Um, I have no idea what the hell Purdue's doing, so maybe, but like Purdue, we forgot that Purdue had a new coach. So like maybe we're wrong about Purdue, but I'm fairly positive that this is not a second year starter. I think the only second year starters at the same school is Nebraska and Michigan State. If I'm wrong, somebody will
Mm,
tell me. Illinois, like I said, is third year. Indiana's multiple. Iowa, Washington, we just did. Oregon is new. UCLA is new. That's going to be technically he's a second year starter because but he new to UCLA. Because
yeah.
that's gonna be Nico. Um, yeah, no, I think it's just those two. It doesn't matter.
Northwestern.
It's I don't know what the hell they're doing. To be honest, this is why we do our whole like we're. I'm going to figure out what Northwestern's doing. They're probably going to be on the next show, but as of today, I don't know. Brother,
um.
I couldn't tell you. Does Northwestern play football still?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
just happy. They're just happy they're not in the news because last time they was in the news, they was hazing people.
Mm,
Nope, nope. They're gonna be new too. I think their quarterback is gonna be Preston Stone
okay. Okay.
from
Okay. Rutgers.
So Rutgers. That's the one where back. That one is no because I think I'm pretty sure Athan started for Minnesota, so he's
Okay.
gonna be a third year starter.
Okay. But a first year starter
So
at Rutgers regardless.
if he wins the job, Northwestern will have a second year starter. He
Okay.
started midway through the season. He was a freshman or a sophomore. His name
Okay.
was Jack Lausch. So he
Okay.
ended the season as the starter. But I don't know if he's going to win the job because I think they brought in a transfer.
Got you. Okay.
But Ohio State beat their ass. But this is the guy that was like piecing up Ohio State. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
He just kept
Yeah.
getting first downs. Like it was like
Yeah.
3rd and 12, run for it.
Yeah.
Like third and 4, perfectly thrown slant pass. And it's like, bro, what is going on? Like
Who is this
and we
kid?
ended up
Yeah, I remember that game now.
like that game was close until half or like right before half. I remember, and I'm like, bro, if
Mm,
y'all don't stop playing with this, yeah. So Northwestern's half because I don't know if he's expected to win the job, but we'll include him. We'll include him.
okay.
Okay, so we have three. Um, we have three. So Dylan Raiola at Nebraska, Aiden Childs at Michigan State, and we'll call it Jack Lausch at Northwestern. So now that we've done that, the actual question is, how will the second year quarterbacks fare? I don't think a lot of people paid attention to Jack Lausch. I thought the couple of games that he played, I thought he
Yeah.
was impressive.
What just
I think
happened?
he was one of the better quarterbacks that Northwestern has had, but he's also played at Northwestern, which means he wasn't that good. But he showed the ability to make some tough throws at times. He showed the ability to run,
I'm still here.
and at least
What
to
just
sort of
happened?
pick up key downs. And again, Northwestern has just had awful quarterbacks. So can he be? We're back after slight technical issues, which is going to sound really weird for you all listening because it doesn't really sound like we cut out. But I don't know if you lost Dante or not. So whatever. Talk
Yeah.
about Northwestern's quarterback, Jack Lausch. I don't know, man. It's hard to really talk about him because I don't expect Northwestern to be pretty good. But I think at least for him, we should sort of start with: is he going to one win the job, and two, is he going to be better than what Northwestern has had? And I think the thing with Northwestern,
Yeah.
which they did the first year and then they did not do last year under this coach, is just can they get to a bowl game? Um, and so
I'm
they won 3 games last year. They got to a bowl game the year before that.
I don't
Um,
think so. No. I
so
don't
you
think
don't.
so.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think they make a bowl game.
Well, there we have it. Moving on to to Aiden Childs. Aiden Childs, boy, Aiden Childs. it, he was one of the most fun players to watch,
Mm-hmm.
but he was literally the epitome of the oh no 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 yes oh yes come on bro like he like his game he was a kid like straight up straight down he was a kid playing quarterback he very inaccurate but made some of the best throws that you had seen he literally the kid would break 4 tackles run for 15 yards and then fumble and it's like what and it was such a weird sort of experience, and it was one of the things where it was just like you literally just had to let him play, like you just had to let him play because
Mm-hmm.
he has to learn from it, and you just hope that he's better. I think he's gonna be better, but with players like him, it's sort of like for those of you who just didn't pay attention to him, the best thing that I would say is it's like the Anthony Richardson thing, where
Yep.
you see a lot of potential. Obviously, he's much younger, but like you, so is next year just going to be the same exact thing, or is he going to get better? You just don't know. I'm rooting for getting better because he was really fun. He was able to keep Nick Marsh, who is one of the best young wide receivers in the conference. But how good will he be in year two?
I,
I mean, they
I think we might see less of what we saw last year, but not a complete all of it gone.
I think I agree with that. So let's be specific, right? So he had 59% completion percentage. Is that better?
Wait, that's what he had?
Last year. Do you
Oh
think he
yeah, I
becomes
think he could
slightly
get
more?
it into the 60s. Yeah.
Okay. He threw for 2,400 yards. He played all 12 games. He threw for 2,400 yards. Does he do better than that?
Yeah.
He had 13 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. I don't, the touchdown numbers, whatever, because I still don't know how good they're going to be. Does he drop the interceptions, which is the thing that he really needs to do? Like, can he,
Yeah.
like,
I think
is he going to have
it'll be like 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
still slightly better? So
Yeah.
better, but not spectacular.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think there would be a
For a
spectacular.
player of his caliber, I think that's solid. And then you hope that his third year it really clicks for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he could do like 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and throw in a couple rushing touchdowns, I think they'd be happy with that. I think they'd be happy with him.
Yeah.
Last one, and this is the big one because there's a lot that sort of uh, relies on his shoulders. Dylan Rayola. What does
If
he
he
look like in year two? Dylan
if he
Rayola
would oh yeah, go ahead because I need to know.
finished last year 67% completion percentage, 2,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. And let's see.
Okay,
The
I think he
interceptions. Let's see. So here's the thing:
he was
the
trying to be cute.
interceptions. Yes, he was, but the interceptions also came in bunches. But the problem with that is they came towards the end of the season. So let's see: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His first 6 games, he had 3 interceptions. That's a solid pace.
Mm-hmm.
These are the 4 games after that. 3 against Indiana, 1 against Ohio State, one
Oh.
against UCLA, two
Hmm.
against USC.
Mm.
So he went 6 games with 3, and then in 4 games he
Got
picked
eight
up
interceptions.
7.
Oh. Like
Yeah, it's
7, 8.
7. It's
Mm-hmm.
7. And then the last 2 games he didn't throw an interception. So it was just it's just like he was so up and down, right? It was like he was a
3
freshman.
against Indiana
Ultimately,
is crazy.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what the hell. I low key. I need to go back and watch that game. What was he doing? Like, just throwing that thing away. Yeah, that is interesting.
So
So yeah,
I think he'll do better as well, especially if he's taking this whole shtick seriously. I think he'll be better as well. I think he can throw for around the same amount, same percentage, maybe like 68, 69. Nice.
yeah, his percentage
Uh
was fine. Like that's he stays
yeah.
around there. He's happy.
Yeah, I think he could get to 3,000 yards a little over, and I think he could get to close to 20 touchdowns and probably still 8 interceptions.
Yeah, he cannot have double digit interceptions. He just can't.
Nah.
The thing with him is he just has much more hype around him, and
Mhm.
he needs to be a top five quarterback in the conference. If he's not a top five quarterback in the conference, he's not living up to the billing.
It is kind of cool that, like, I'll have to say these schools have um these attractions in a way. Like, it's crazy to call
Yeah,
players attractions, but you know what I mean. Like, they're
yeah.
bringing attention. Like, Nebraska has someone that can bring attention to them. Michigan just brought attention to themselves
Boom.
by,
Yeah.
but
Jesus. You know. Hey man, say man.
even though I know you don't
What
like
it
Dante
is.
Moore, Oregon has Dante Moore. There's.
It's not even that I don't like him as much as
I know
it's
you don't think he's good, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
they
At
have
all.
Dante
At
Moore.
all. I've watched him play.
But so like Indiana and things like that, they have they have players that make you want to watch these schools, which is that's what was most needed out of the Big Ten, and it's probably also needed in the SEC too. Is that more
Yes.
schools need players. Is I know a lot of people getting all upset because all these players going to different schools and transferring stuff, but all these schools need players to have people watch these games because these teams are actually entertaining to watch. They're
Yeah.
good. They're good teams. So like, yeah. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
Jalen Real
Uh-huh.
will be a little bit better as well. I think he could be better. Um, Especially if they watch their mistakes, both him and Aiden Childs. I think they could be better.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I just have to do this
Yep.
because at this point I'm afraid that I'm starting to sound like a hater. Dante Moore started nine games. Nine.
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of the season.
Mm-hmm.
1,600 yards, 11
Mm.
touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a 53% completion percentage.
What about running
If
rushing
you
yards?
are wondering, that's worse than the two quarterbacks we just talked about who
Yes,
also
yes, it
started
is.
as
yes,
freshmen.
it
Significantly worse than the
yes, it
two
is.
that also
Yes.
started as freshmen.
But hold
One
on,
of
hold on,
which
hold on, hold on, hold on,
people
hold on,
act like is dog shit now.
hold on,
And then hold on,
hold on,
hold on.
hold on. If he
What?
would
Go
have got those
ahead.
last three, if he would have got those last three games, do you think
He
he
wasn't going to
probably
get 1,700 yards.
he
No.
wasn't going to get 2,800? No, he wasn't going to get 2,800. No, but he could have. You said how much? 1,600? Fuck, he could have got
1,600.
he could have got 2,200, 2,100 yards, probably 13 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, just like they did. Like it would have been
But his
worse in
completion
yardage.
percentage would have been worse.
It would
And
have
he
been like
probably
what you said 50 what?
three,
It'd
53%.
been like it might have been like 55, which is true. Yeah, but it would have been worse.
So
Yes.
so like I watched him play, and then he goes to Oregon last year, and mind you, Oregon was blowing people out. They were blowing
Yes.
everybody out.
Yeah.
Everybody. They let him throw 8 passes all year. That's it. That's it. Eight. Eight. Ohio State had a walk-on quarterback who could have thrown 8 passes. And so my thing with him is just like, how do we go from god awful to one of the best quarterbacks in the country? That is the thing that I'm so consistent with. I don't like talking bad about college kids. I don't like pretending that they're not human. I want to give them grace. I want to let them play, but I can't stand the hype machine, especially because I think it hurts them. There is
Yeah.
nothing in here that says he is going to be a Heisman finalist. Let me pull up the Heisman odds. There's nothing that we've seen that says this is a good quarterback at all. At all. Like in the slightest. What the heck? I put oh my god,
There
bro.
is nothing here. There's
We seen it. We haven't.
Wait,
Like, am I
what was
wrong,
his rushing
Dante? Am I
yards though?
wrong?
What was his rushing yards? What was his rushing yards to add on to that?
He He's 9 in the Heisman odds. 9. Okay, hold on. You said rushing.
Yeah.
Negative 84.
Oh.
Dante, I understand that some of this is the team that he played on, but sacks
Uh-huh.
are also quarterback stats. He had a game with 4 sacks, a game with 5 sacks, a game with 6 sacks,
Oh,
and a game where he was
damn.
sacked 7 times. Seven
Golly.
times. 7 times is not on the offensive
Now you
line.
know what?
Unless you're
Listen.
playing Road to Glory, unless you're playing Road to Glory in NCAA,
Listen.
7 times is
Listen.
not on the offensive line. The
Uh,
like, come on, bruh.
I
No.
will have to. I would like to go back and watch that 7 sack game because I would have to say, especially in some college teams, I would go 5 of them. 5 of them are on the offensive line.
I give 4.
Okay.
He had to take 3 of them. 3 of them was his, bro. And they have him as 9. They have him as 9. They have him over John Mateer, Oklahoma, and Sam Levitt, Arizona State. Like players who have played and been good. And again, like I try to be mindful of this because I know this show, when we get famous, this show can be clipped and these things, and so I always want to provide context. So at least if I say something crazy, I can be like, but I also said this. This hype hurts him. Like that's
It
the thing.
can. It can.
Again, Dylan Raiola was hyped as the next best thing. He had 2,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, which to me is a solid freshman year. And people act like he's scrubs. You have this dude who didn't do half of that. You put him at Oregon, and now he's a national title contender. Now Oregon's going to be one of the best teams in the country, and now he's going to be a high. I've seen with my own eyes people predicting him to be a Heisman finalist. You can't tell me that doesn't hurt him when he's been dog shit. He got benched at UCLA, Dante. He got benched at UCLA. UCLA said, we don't want you to play here no more. You know how bad it's got to be to get benched at
There
UCLA?
maybe with better talent around him, he can produce at a better level. You never
You're
know. It's
trying so
very
hard.
possible.
I do
I'm
think
telling you,
he'll
it's
be
very possible.
better.
I'm not saying
I
it
think
will. It's possible. It's
I
possible.
I think he will be better. Do I think he'll
Mhm.
be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten and a Heisman finalist? No.
No, but
All right,
he.
let's
I
just put it here. Let's put it here. Let's put it here. Does he have a, regardless of stats, because stats are whatever. If you just watch it, you just watch it. Does he have a better year than Dylan Raiola last year?
no.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Next question.
Does he this year have a better season than last year?
Season than Dylan Raiola's last year.
Oh, I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
That's not a yes or no. I
It's
need a
not.
yes. Anything is anything is possible.
How
If the
many
absolute
teams
strength
get
is
into the
me.
playoffs?
All right. Yes. Next question. How many teams get to the playoff? As a reminder, this year is still it's still a 12-team playoff. Last year, they got
How
4 teams
many?
in.
4 teams?
They got 4. Do
I
they
think that
get 4
happens
again?
literally again. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
literally happens again. Yeah.
I think it's Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and then one of Indiana or Illinois, whoever battles it out. And then the other one, I think, gets the thing that you said, where we think they probably should have got in and really could have got in, because I don't think the SEC is going to be great this year, and they're going to
Mhm.
be scooped up for an SEC team.
Look out for
They're going
Washington.
to end up like, yeah.
I think they might sneak somehow. You
Also,
never
you
know.
you also got to look out for Iowa. Iowa might have a quarterback,
Yes.
which is our next
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Does Iowa's offense make an improvement?
The
I know
answer
this
is
is
yes,
crazy
and
if
that's
you
not
haven't.
fair. It's an
Right, but
easy. That's an easy yes.
yes, we won't go into this too much because we're gonna do a full Iowa preview. But for those of you who just haven't been paying attention at all, Iowa has a quarterback who is a multi-time national champion, has rushed for over 1,000 yards, and like maybe not in an individual season, but has like over 1,000 yards rushing in his season. Is a pretty solid passer, and if I remember correctly, has won or competed for the lower levels version of the Heisman. I don't remember what that
hmm
award is called. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country and the FCS. He has won national championships for South Dakota State. He is now their quarterback. Running a similar offense, he should be the best quarterback that they've had.
hmm
They also have a wide receiver. Vanderzee, can't remember his first name, who was like had a pretty decent freshman year as well. So this is some of these questions were really bad. I should have worded this better. Does they make an improvement? Is yes. That is a
Yeah.
simple answer. The better,
How much of
I
an
guess, the question I
improvement?
really wanted to say
I truly do.
is: does Iowa's offense make make a make a good enough improvement to make them a contender for the Big Ten? Does it make them a contender for that third or
If
fourth
that
playoff spot?
defense, if the defense has been an Iowa defense for the past, what is it, 5 years, I could just that's
Yes.
the close, it's the quickest number I can think of. If it's anything like the past 5 years, um, I think the offense could be good enough for them to be playing in that Big Ten championship game, and that's why I say Ohio State can be a playoff team and not be in the Big Ten championship game because of something like that.
So okay, so your answer
Yeah,
is yes. You think it makes enough improvement for them to
I think so.
contend for that third or fourth
I
playoff
think so,
spot.
yes, because they were putting up points to end the season last year. I
Yep.
remember I kept bringing that up. I was like, Iowa is doing
Mm-hmm.
something weird on offense now, and that's scaring me.
Yeah. Weird being it worked. They're playing offense. That's weird.
They're playing offense that's terrifying, and
Yeah.
to improve in key positions, especially key positions you never had, at least as long as we've been doing this goddamn podcast, you've
Was
never had.
ever. Yeah, ever. We've been doing this
You've
4
never
years
had.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I do think so. Yes.
Got you. This is our
Hmm.
fifth season, by
Yes,
the
it
way.
is. Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Next question: can Illinois match the hype? The hype for Illinois is that they're going to be Indiana. They have a team. They're bringing back a third year starter. They're bringing back a lot of players. They got their defense figured it out at the end of the year. They end the year on a high. They beat South Carolina, who everybody wanted to go to the playoffs. Everyone being SEC, like they finished really high. And the thing is, Brett Bielema is the creator of this when I have seniors, we winning thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did it at
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin. Iowa's copied it. Like all the Big Ten West schools that were good essentially copied what he was doing. And he got it from someone else. Someone's going to be like, oh my God, he wasn't the first one. I can't remember the guy before him, but it doesn't matter. Brad Beal was one of the best at it. This is the year. The hype is they can be a playoff team. Do they do it? Or do they disappoint us like Minnesota? Oh God, Minnesota pissed me off so bad. And I'm trying to lock in on Illinois, but I'm afraid that if I lock in, they're going to disappoint me like Minnesota
I
did.
think,
Do they
yeah, I
disappoint, or
think,
can they make the playoff? Will they make the playoff?
will they make the playoff? Mm.
I think to match the hype, they have to make the playoff. Unless it's like one of those things where like they end up at like 13 and we're all mad. Like I'm gonna say will they, with the caveat that like if they don't, it has to feel like a mistake. Like it has to feel like they were robbed by the committee.
Oh, okay.
Like they
I
can't be 18 or 19. They got to be like 13. And we're on
I
this
can
podcast.
I
Like,
can
what the
I
hell were
can
you watching?
yeah, I can see that happening. I don't know what their schedule is like. I still haven't looked, but I haven't looked at the schedule for any of the schools. But I think Illinois could get a shocker win out of this. I think they could. They play Oregon. I think they could snatch that win, and then but Oregon will make the playoffs and Illinois won't, and we'll be sitting here like what the hell, what the hell?
They don't play Oregon.
They don't. Who's this? They got to play one, right?
They play Ohio State, and then they play Indiana, which is not in the Oregon Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
Penn State tier, but still a game that they could lose, and it's at Indiana. So they play Ohio State and Indiana.
Damn. They could snatch the Indiana game.
Thanks
They'll
for unlocking
scare
iPhone
Ohio
first.
State. They will
You
scare
said
Ohio State. You know what? That could be the game for Ohio State. It won't be. It won't be Michigan. It won't be Michigan. You'll lose this one, and then beat the dog shit out of Michigan because of it.
And I can't say I'm that far off of that because I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get into it, but I'm just not sure that Texas is going to be good. But I'm not predicting Ohio State to go 12-0.
Mm-hmm.
So a loss at Illinois or losing to Penn State, I think one of them is
Mm-hmm.
probably coming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. You know what's?
Good chance it could be both. It could. There's a good chance it could be both.
I definitely don't think they lose both, but one of them wins, one of them scares, and then they hopefully destroy. Okay, last
Mm-hmm.
question. Ending on a banger. Ending on like this should not be the last question. Um, who's gonna be the worst team? You
Uh,
got to put it. You got to say one. And it's hard because the teams that we're thinking, some of them have new coaches, so they could surprise. You got to make your claim right now. Who's the worst team in the conference?
Maryland.
Yo, I was gonna say that. I was hoping you were gonna stick with Old Faithful and say Purdue. Ah,
I thought
okay.
about it. I was thinking Purdue. I really was. It was on my eye. But Maryland. Yeah.
Man, I don't want to say Maryland
I ain't
too
told
now. I want to say
you. All
something
right.
different, but like Maryland's gonna be my answer. I didn't prepare for you to say that.
Shit.
It's just gonna. We're
Trash.
both gonna say Maryland then. Well,
I
like, yeah,
think it could be possibly Maryland for real. For real.
yeah, yeah. Maryland.
Purdue
Go
was
with
there. I
Maryland.
kept thinking Purdue, and I was like, I keep saying Purdue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say someone else. I didn't think I was gonna throw you off like that.
All right, it's fine. I won't. I'll go with Northwestern.
I was scared to choose them because they won 3 games last year, and that confused the
Yeah.
shit out of me. Because I think because I said
Yeah.
Northwestern last year.
Yeah.
I did say
Probably.
Northwestern last year. It was either them or Purdue for me, but I'm going with Maryland this year for real.
I
I'm gonna
hate
be
that you
wrong.
stole that from
Watch.
me. No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Maryland's gonna be awful. Like Maryland's gonna be so bad.
I
My
don't think
my.
they're one win bad though.
Are we sure? Especially because it just needs to be one win in the Big Ten. Oof. All right, I'm just gonna run through their schedule really quickly. Okay.
All right.
Florida Atlantic, NIU, Townsend. I think they may lose to Northern Illinois, but whatever. And then they play Wisconsin, Washington, Nebraska, UCLA, Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, Michigan, and Michigan State.
Well, I don't trust UCLA. I don't
Problem
trust
is
Maryland or UCLA.
the reason
I
why I say
almost said
this,
UCLA too from the
yeah.
worst team.
But here's the thing: the reason why I mention
It's you too.
this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Washington, you said watch out for them; they could be sneaky. We're
Mm-hmm.
expecting decent things from Nebraska and decent, not great, but decent things from Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
UCLA has Nico, who may be good. Indiana, we said is probably going to be good. I don't think we're ever going to pick Rutgers to lose to Maryland. They should like Illinois is going to be
At
good.
least not this
They
year.
shouldn't beat Michigan and Michigan State. We just talked about their quarterback as well. There's no guaranteed win in their Big Ten schedule. They don't get Northwestern. They don't get Purdue. Like they don't get all the best teams, of course, right? But every team that
They
they're
don't
playing is equal or better than them, even
win them.
slightly. So it's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there's no layoff in their Big Ten schedule. There's no like, whew, we got Northwestern this week. We should win that game. There's not a game in that Big Ten schedule that I think they're guaranteed to win. That I'm looking at and it's like, yeah, they should beat that team.
Yeah, you might be on to something there.
Well, I mean, you're on to something. You stole it from me. All right, so to wrap up the show, as always, we wrap up with our pit stop. Our pit stop is where we, while we're driving down, as I'm driving down I-80 because Dante doesn't like road trips, which is bad for the brand. As I'm driving down
I'm flying,
I-80,
chat.
yeah. um, this is not the American Airlines podcast, dog. What are we doing? You got to get in the car. Get in the car. Um. Uh. Yeah, as we're taking our pit stop, using the bathroom, taking a break, getting gas, doing
Man,
whatever. This
you
is a
know,
time to
it's
talk
a
about something.
layover.
Jeez, no, no, stop it, stop it. Honestly, no. You know what's crazy? My pit stop should be that. Actually, hold on. While we're here, there's at least
Mhm.
one person that listens to this show that's a lawyer. I hope he made it this far. If anyone who's made it this far is a lawyer, I need you to hit me up because I need to know how to trademark this show. Someone stole our name. and their graphics suck. Yeah. So there's another podcast that they have a like a like ours is like Get Defensive Sports Network. Theirs is
Mm-hmm.
called the I-80 Club. So they have other shows called I-80 whatever. And then they decided to have a football show. So what did they call it? The I-80 football show. And I know they stole it because last week I saw it and they said, welcome to the first episode of the I-80 football show. And the problem is they have a bigger following than us because they did other things. They just never did football. And it's literally our show name. I'm like, nope,
No, 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 no,
don't
no, no,
like
no, no,
that.
no,
So
no,
if
no,
anyone's a
no,
lawyer,
no, 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 no.
anyone's a lawyer, I need y'all to
That's not
figure it
how.
out.
That's not how this
We
works,
need to
pal.
trademark. We've been doing this show for 5 years.
Yeah, no, yeah, we need
We did
help.
it.
We need help. We need help.
You can't just come in. And then the problem
Mm-hmm.
is, it's also a Big Ten team. It's a podcast for Nebraska.
Oh yeah, no,
because Nebraska's on I-80, which is why our
Yeah.
name is so good.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah, no.
That's my pit stop. I need to find a lawyer. Somebody teach me how to
Somebody, we
trademark
need
so I can do
chat
it.
if you're paying attention.
Come on, stop playing. They trying to take our stuff. Let me actually. I messaged them on Blue Sky. I'm gonna see if they respond.
This been our name for what?
5, yeah,
2
years,
2
3
years
years because it was originally I-70.
Yeah, I thought it was
2 or
only been
3
2
years.
Yeah,
2 years. It don't matter. Whatever
it's still longer than them.
Yeah, they didn't respond either.
Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. Wow, chat. Wow, chat.
Trash. Get up out of here. Stop.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Skedaddle.
Fucking
daddle.
Yeah. So I'm not even gonna talk about what I want to talk about. My pit stop is look, we about to pull over and I'm about to put gas in the gas and I'm about to burn their podcast down. Like God sort them out. Like God sort them out. Yeah.
My pit stop was just gonna be funny because I don't remember if I had my new tattoo by the time we recorded our episodes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Either way, I'm gonna talk about the college football game. They didn't fix that that fucking wear and tear shit. They did not fix it. You have to fix it. You have to fix it yourself. They have settings where you can
Turn it down a little bit.
adjust it and shit like that, but they didn't fix it. It's just as bad.
Especially
Before
for
I
running
touched
backs,
anything.
it's so bad.
And my coach, even though I got a bunch of I'm Ohio State, right? My coach, Ryan Day, gives me a few passing plays, but when I pick those passing plays, our fucking quarterback just throws me the ball. Nigga, I am passing the ball. I'm on a break. Stop passing, bruh.
Yeah.
So they didn't fix it. That's the only thing I gotta talk. They have not fixed that at all. So
yeah,
go into your settings and change your settings for the wearing.
What'd you put yours on?
Like 30 for everything because you could do so it's like impact block that all the impact blocks, tackles, and things like that have a impact on wear and tear. It starts at 50. I brought it down to like 30 or 25. Like, quit playing with me.
It's way too high, especially for running back. Like I had to run.
My season wear and tear is gone. I'm already on my career. I already lost a year, and the season's not even done yet. Like, nigga.
Yeah, that's crazy. The wear and tear, it's such a cool idea.
The craziest part is that didn't start. I wasn't the starting running back, so there was games where I didn't even play in, and I'm still lost about a year on my career wearing tear.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, we can end on that. That's funny. Real quick though, yes or no? Did you like high school? Did you like how they did it?
Give me a high school game. It's okay for now, I guess, but give me a high school game.
You want to play the full game?
Yes. Don't give me moments. Don't give me moments. Just give me the game. You can literally make a game. Like it's a football. You already have a football game.
Yeah.
Just give me the high school game. That's it. and
So
give
I
and you, even if you're going to do 4 games, give especially if you're going to only do 4 games, give me 4 games.
so what I will say is I mix it. I do like I want to play the full game, but I do
Mm.
like the moments
Have the moments in there.
where they can boost your recruiting. So
Mhm.
keep the moments, but I want to play
I
the full game.
also think you should put that into the college aspect as well.
Mm, mm, yeah,
Mm. Things
yeah.
you can do within game.
Mm.
They
To
randomly
like
pop
boost
up.
your
Doesn't
trust
even
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
doesn't have to happen every game, but they can randomly happen
because they
within the
have
game.
that in Madden. I don't know the weight that it has in Madden, but like Madden
Mm-hmm.
does have drive goals, like get three
Mm-hmm.
first downs, like
Mm-hmm.
like yeah. So fair enough. I agree. I think it's a good start, but I do want to play the full game. Also, linebacker is pretty easy. I haven't played in college, but the high school and linebacker was pretty easy. I started as a 4 star and I worked my way
I
up to. I would never do corner. It's dumb. But the high
Oh,
school
I play
one's not
corner.
that bad.
I play corner. I'm finishing the season with like 20, 25, 27 interceptions.
Crazy. I'm not
Give
good
me
enough.
that.
I know my limits. I'm not good enough to play corner. But the high school, the linebacker one was pretty fun. All right, that's the show. This is our last. This is our last show. This is the first of the previews. We're getting into previews next week. We're getting into it again. If you have any fans,
Again.
friends, siblings, cousins, significant others, coworkers, doesn't matter, who like football, but especially like Big Ten, there are 18 teams to choose from. You got someone that likes one of those 18 teams. Send us their way. It's time for the season. We up, and we'll catch you next week.